Hello everyone, it is an honor to speak to you today about a topic that combines imagination, creativity, and innovation, spatial design. Now, spatial design is not just about arranging physical spaces, it's about crafting experiences, evoking emotions, and creating memories that will last a lifetime. Today, I will focus on the role of spatial design in theme parks, immersive experiences, and museums. But what is spatial design, you might be asking yourself? Well, spatial design is the art and science of shaping physical environments to enhance human experiences. It encompasses architecture, interior design, landscape architecture, and urban planning. And it integrates sensory elements like sound, light, and texture to create a cohesive and immersive environment. Put simply by the Royal Danish Academy, spatial design focuses on the relationship between architecture, design, and people. Theme parks are perhaps the most vivid examples of spatial design in action. They are meticulously planned environments where every detail is carefully considered to enhance the guest experience. One of the most significant aspects of spatial design in theme parks is the creation of immersive environments that transport guests from their everyday lives into fantastical worlds. Whether it's walking down the bustling streets of a fairy tale kingdom, exploring a galaxy far, far away, or venturing into the prehistoric jungles of dinosaurs, spatial design makes these transitions seamless and believable. Central to spatial design in theme parks is theming and storytelling. Each area within the theme park tells a story, and spatial design ensures that every element within the space supports and enhances the narrative. This involves not only the visual aspects, but also the auditory and tactile elements. An example of this design is Main Street USA in Disney parks, which is inspired by 20th century small-town America. The area features period-appropriate buildings, streetcars, and even specific types of foliage. Now, this meticulous attention to detail helps guests feel as though they have stepped back through time. The distribution of attractions, rest areas, and restaurants has been strategically planned to allow guests to engage with attractions and take breaks when they need them most. A crucial element of spatial design is ensuring seamless flow and navigation throughout the park. Effective spatial design helps guests move intuitively from one area to another, which is essential in vast and potentially overwhelming theme parks. Pathways are crafted to naturally guide visitors, landmarks are strategically placed for easy orientation, and sightlines are managed to maintain a sense of discovery and surprise. Efficient flow and navigation not only enhances the guest experience, but also contributes to safety and operational efficiency. Now, when designing the original Disneyland in California, Walt Disney wanted to avoid what he called museum feet, the sore feet guests would get from walking all day. Now, inspired by the hub and spoke street designs of Washington, D.C. and Paris, he created a layout where every land was accessible from the central hub, which is the plaza in front of Sleeping Beauty's castle. Initially, this design required guests to return to the hub to move between lands, so to improve convenience, secondary routes were developed allowing guests to transition directly from land to land, reducing walking distances and enhancing overall experience. Now, Disney's ingenious use of spatial design is exemplified by the berm, a raised wall of dirt encircling the park. This barrier, pioneered by Walt Disney for Disneyland, creates a visual and auditory separation between the park's immersive environment and the outside world, maintaining the illusion of a magical realm isolated from everyday life. The berm hides the cityscape and muffles urban noises, enhancing the overall immersive experience. As the city around the park expanded, maintaining this barrier became more and more challenging. So, creative solutions were implemented to ensure its effectiveness. So, in Frontierland and Adventureland, dense trees and lush vegetation were strategically placed to enhance the natural feel and reinforce this barrier, obscuring views of the outside world, but adding thematic authenticity. In Fantasyland, the iconic It's a Small World facade was constructed as an even taller barrier, blending practical design with thematic elements. Now, visitors can prominently see the original berm at the park entrance, where it forms the hill that supports the Main Street USA train station. This elevated position offers a welcoming vista while subtly hiding the urban landscape beyond. The train station serves as the first step into the park's narrative, with the berm playing a crucial role in maintaining the immersive environment. This design exemplifies how creating a seamless, immersive experience extends beyond attractions to the very layout and landscaping of the park. In the digital age, navigation apps for smartphones assist visitors in optimizing their time and finding itineraries that best suit their preferences. Simultaneously, collecting visitor flow data is invaluable for theme park operations, allowing continuous adjustments to enhance efficiency and improve the visitor experience. Now, an example is Disneyland's mobile app, which provides real-time information about waiting times at attractions, locations of restaurants, and scheduled activities with characters. These apps can even suggest deals or offer discounts in less busy areas of the park, helping to manage overall flow effectively. Spatial design extends beyond the layout of the parks. Consider the buildings on Main Street USA at Disneyland in California. These were designed using forced perspective. Now, almost all the buildings, with the notable exception of Walt's apartment above the fire station, where he and his family could stay, follow a 1 to 5/8 to 1/2 scale principle. The ground floor is at a full 1-to-1 scale. The second floor facade is at 5/8 scale, and the third story is at 1/2 scale. This design technique creates the illusion of a 3-story building, making guests perceive it as taller than it actually is. Additionally, these buildings are slightly wider on one side, making the walk towards the castle appear longer than it is. Conversely, at the end of the day, when your feet are aching and you're ready to head towards the exit, the streets seem shorter, and the exit appears closer. This clever use of forced perspective is not limited to Main Street USA, but can be observed throughout the entire park. A prime example of forced perspective is Cinderella's castle at the Magic Kingdom in Florida. Regulations require that all buildings in the Orlando parks stay under 200 feet to avoid the necessity of placing a flashing light on top for airplane safety. The castle stands at roughly 189 feet, but through the use of forced perspective, it appears much taller than 200 feet. This technique is more noticeable with the castle as visitors can walk around the sides. But even the trees on Main Street USA are part of this forced perspective spatial design. Trees closer to the castle are shorter, while those near the exit are taller, enhancing the illusion of the castle's grandeur. Conversely, when guests are leaving the park, this design makes everything seem closer, providing a comforting sense of proximity to the exit. The same principles of spatial design apply whether you're working on a new park or attraction, retrofitting an existing one, or even enhancing an attraction that doesn't traditionally follow a narrative journey. This approach ensures that every aspect of the park or attraction is cohesive, enhancing the guest experience, whether it's a brand new creation or a beloved classic receiving an upgrade. To illustrate this point, consider the Mystic Timbers wooden roller coaster at Kings Island in the US. Traditionally, wooden coasters focus on thrills and speed, often with less emphasis on storytelling. However, we aim to enhance the guest experience through spatial design and narrative immersion. We introduced a captivating narrative element called the Shed. This is a final room before the load and unload station. This room featured a dynamic mix of audiovisual effects, atmospheric lighting, show action props, and extensive theming. Now, the marketing campaign for Mystic Timbers built intrigue around what's in the shed, sparking curiosity and excitement. Now, given the ride's 2-minute duration, we leveraged the queue line to enrich the narrative experience. Props and theming elements, complemented by background audiovisual components, narrated the ride's backstory. This immersive pre-show experience built anticipation and provided context for riders. A final warning of "Don't go in the shed," delivered at the top of the lift hill, delivered by yours truly, further heightened the suspense. Now, by incorporating these spatial design elements and narrative techniques, we transformed a traditional wooden roller coaster into a more engaging and immersive experiencing, showcasing how storytelling can enhance even those attractions where narrative is not typically a primary focus. The second example involves retrofitting Burnt Stub Mansion, a historic site dating back to 1348, into a walkthrough attraction. The mansion's fixed footprint, immovable structural beams, fireplaces, and very low ceiling height presented significant challenges. To create an engaging experience within these constraints, we employed inventive spatial design techniques. We used lighting, graphics, interactive elements, and audio animatronics to direct guests' attention and enhance immersion. By carefully designing the lighting and graphics, we drew visitors' gaze downward, away from the low ceiling, creating a more expansive visual environment. In the initial showroom, we set the stage for the narrative, while the rest of the attraction followed a free-flowing experience. To integrate spatial design within the attraction's flow, we used beam break sensors to trigger entry into the first free flow room. Additionally, we implemented a sophisticated audioscape that moved with the guests, allowing the sound to transition smoothly throughout the attraction. By creatively utilizing these elements, we adapted historical constraints of Burnt Stub Mansion into a captivating and immersive walk-through attraction, demonstrating how spatial design can overcome architectural limitations and enhance guest engagement. Now, technology plays a significant role in spatial design for immersive experiences. From interactive elements and augmented reality experiences to advanced lighting and sound systems, technology enhances the immersive quality of these environments. Spatial designers must seamlessly integrate these technological elements to complement and enhance the space, rather than detract from it. This requires a delicate balance between innovation and practicality. For a brand activation for the Mobile Carrier 3 and the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, we crafted an immersive experience at 3's Oxford Circus offices in London. Now, visitors entered the basement, greeted by an actor who led them into a lift. The lift seemingly ascended 5 stories to a penthouse where guests played a portion of the game before its official release. Now, this room transformed based on the game's events. So, a virtual train passing by was seen and heard outside the penthouse window. A helicopter flying overhead created wind, lights, and sounds. And when a guest was shot in the game, blood was projected onto the walls and their seat vibrated. At the end of the game, guests were given a copy of this game and taken back down the 5 stories. Or so they thought. In reality, they never left the basement. Using earthquake transducers, audio, and lighting in the lift, we tricked their senses into believing that they had ascended to the penthouse. Guests had actually walked through a themed hallway with a clever design lift. The client initially suggested escorting the guests out after the game. However, we thought that wasn't the right way to go. To preserve the immersive experience and ensure continuity with the narrative we created, we opted to have them descend back in the lift. This decision maintained the illusion and kept guests fully immersed in the meticulously crafted world that we had created. Not all spatial design in our industry requires fully themed immersive environments, though. Museums, for instance, are another area where spatial design plays a crucial role. Museums aim to educate, inspire, and engage visitors through their exhibits, and effective spatial design helps achieve these goals by creating environments that are both informative and interactive. In museum spatial design, a key goal is to guide visitors through exhibits logically and engagingly. This involves carefully planning the layout, signage, and pathways to ensure easy navigation and comprehension of the narrative. Audio-visual technology enhances the visitor experience, so high-quality sound systems provide background narration, ambient sounds, and interactive audio elements. Visual technologies like projection mapping and interactive displays bring exhibits to life, offering dynamic ways for visitors to interact with the content. Now, incorporating interactive elements, such as touchscreens and augmented reality experiences, allow visitors to engage hand-on with exhibits, making the experience more engaging and memorable. When tasked with redesigning the Fram Museum in Oslo, Norway, our goal was to bring a century-old ship to life, both inside and out. Previously, the museum featured some basic lighting around the ship, and people were allowed to walk on the deck and explore the lower decks, which were mainly empty rooms with open spaces adorned with informational printed boards. The museum wanted to modernize the experience, shifting from the reliance on printed word to a more immersive engagement for all the guest senses. Now, outside the ship, we designed a wraparound projection that had enveloped the ship, displaying a film that simulated a journey to the South Pole. During this film, the tranquil voyage was dramatically transformed by a storm sequence that was so convincing that some guests felt compelled to sit down, overwhelmed by the sensation that the ship was swaying side to side. Inside the ship, we created immersive spaces with wax figures, point source audio, and strategic lighting. The former dining area, for example, became a lively New Year's Eve scene featuring a piano playing Auld Lang Syne to recreate the ship's heyday ambiance. Cabins were meticulously dressed with props and replicas of period-appropriate bedding and clothing. Our team even wore the replica sweaters throughout the design and construction phase to give them a more naturally worn appearance. Down in the hold, we projected a narrative about the ship's journeys on the walls, accompanied by comfortable seating and interactives housed in custom-built wooden boxes, mimicking the originals found in the hold. Vibrant lighting was used to visually expand the spaces behind those interactives. Now, one of my favorite enhancements was revitalizing the original diesel engine using simple but effective lighting and audio techniques. We installed dual 18-inch subwoofers into the hull to create a subtle rumble that visitors could feel underfoot as they walked around the ship. The strategic placement of speakers and flickering lights created the illusion of an operational engine room, and with the sound of the engine seeming to emanate from the vents on the upper decks. Through these detailed and clever applications of spatial design, we animated the centuries-old ship and told its many stories in a much more engaging way. Spatial design has evolved significantly with technological advances in the recent decades. From interactive elements and augmented reality experiences to advanced lighting and sound systems, technology has greatly enhanced the immersive quality of these environments. Now, spatial designers must seamlessly integrate these technological elements to complement and enhance the physical space, requiring a delicate balance between innovation and practicality. Augmented reality and virtual reality are increasingly used in spatial design to blend physical and digital worlds. AR overlays digital information onto the physical world, providing additional context and information to enhance the visitor's experience. VR creates entirely digital environments, allowing visitors to explore and interact with the virtual worlds in a fully immersive way. Advanced lighting and projection technologies are increasingly vital in spatial design. Projection mapping transforms ordinary surfaces into dynamic, interactive canvases, producing visually stunning effects that significantly enhance storytelling and immersion. Likewise, advanced lighting systems create adaptable and dynamic environments, allowing for instantaneous atmospheric changes. And LEDs, particularly with the advent of flexible LED technology, immerse people in ways that were not possible in the past, adding depth and vibrancy to any space. Now, it wouldn't be a technology show if we didn't talk about the Sphere in Las Vegas. The spatial design in the lobby and adjoining areas leading to the show space expertly immerse guests in a futuristic environment, effectively setting the narrative stage before the main event. This strategic design contrasts sharply with the Sphere's show space, which relies entirely on cutting-edge technology. The entrance area is a masterful blend of technology, architecture, and design, creating a visually captivating and mentally stimulating experience. The careful integration of these elements ensures that guests are awestruck and their expectations heightened, delivering a mind-blowing impression before they enter the remarkable dome of the Sphere. When the interior screen is off, the massive LED display is impressive enough to wow many, but the real magic happens when it's activated. With the spatial sound from the holoplot system and the 16K 12-bit 444 content delivered by the 7 Sense system, coupled with various special effects, the setup showcases the potential of technology-driven spatial design. In this domed environment, the high contrast levels of the LED screens make you forget that you're looking at a spherical screen. It's so immersive that when a cube is projected in the media, you truly feel like you're inside of it. However, similar to the forced perspective techniques used at Disney, the magic diminishes if you're not in the prime viewing area, where visuals become distorted and the magic wanes. This illustrates the importance of positioning and perspective in achieving optimal immersive experiences in spatial design. Finally, on a non-technology note, sustainability is crucial. Modern attractions aim to create magical yet environmentally responsible spaces. Key practices include using sustainable materials like recycled, reclaimed, or rapidly renewable resources, which significantly reduce environmental impact. Integrating green spaces such as parks, gardens, and green roofs enhance air quality, provides wildlife habitats, and creates a pleasant environment for visitors. Additionally, designing with energy efficiency in mind, using natural light, energy-efficient lighting, HVAC systems, and renewable energy resources like solar and wind power helps reduce the carbon footprint of attractions. Sustainable spatial design ensures that the attractions can be enjoyed by future generations while minimizing environmental impact, leading the way in environmental stewardship, creating responsible, forward-thinking spaces. So, in conclusion, spatial design is a multifaceted discipline that goes beyond aesthetics. It's about creating emotionally engaging environments that tell stories, guide visitors, and incorporating cutting-edge technologies, all while being mindful of sustainability. Whether in theme parks, immersive experiences, museums, or any type of attraction, spatial design plays a crucial role in shaping the visitor's experience. As we continue to push the boundaries of immersive experience, the role of spatial design will only become more and more crucial. Through this lens, we can create magical, transformative experiences that leave a lasting impression on every guest. Thank you for your time.